Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at some of these problems. I'm just going to go 1 through 10, show you basically what it's going to look like, and you can take that information and study it, and hopefully you'll do well on this. So on numbers 1 and 2, I'll show you what the picture looks like. And again, these quiz problems are basically from the homeworks. I may have changed some numbers. Some of them may be exactly the same numbers, okay? But go back, look in the book, and find this picture, how we did it. I might have done something very similar when I taught the lesson in the first place. So it looks like this, like that. So, looks more like this. Yeah, that's a little closer. Okay, so this is numbers 1 and 2. Oops, I got to plug in my, can't see? I am. Well, I better get out of the way then, huh? Is that better? All right, my computer screen was going dark because I didn't have it plugged in, so let me change that. All right, now I can see it. All right, here we go. Yeah, let me just talk about this for a second. This is one of the problems where we use that exterior angle and the remote interior angles. Okay, again, I'm just going to show you generally what we're doing here. So that's a what? That's an exterior angle. And which ones are the remote interior angles? The ones that are further away, they're further away from this outside angle, which are these two right here. Everybody see that? All right, so these two angles, let's just call it ABC, might as well. ABC, we'll call this D. All right, so the exterior angle is what? What would I name that exterior angle? Angle what? BAC, this one, this angle right here? BCD, right. BCD. So that's the exterior angle. What is it equal to? It's equal to angle what? And what? Angle A plus, right, angle B. Everybody see that? I'm going to stick some numbers in there. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to put the numbers. I'm going to put some numbers in there, and you're going to have to solve for something that's missing. Everybody got that? Okay, so this is, and you'll have enough information to be able to do something like this. To find this angle, if I give you these two angles, you'd add those up. That's what this angle is. I could just ask you to find that angle, or or find that angle, or you could find this angle right here, okay, depending on what I give you. All right, so go back, research it, look at it, figure out how to do that. But that's the gist of it right there. That's the main concept, is the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. All right, so that's number 1 and 2. Number 3 and 4 is kind of the same thing. Now on this one, I'm going to actually put in just regular numbers. Like I'll give you one angle, it's 30 degrees, and one angle is something else or whatever, okay? Just like regular numbers, no X's or anything like that. On 3 and 4, guess what I'm going to do with that? Numbers 3 and 4 on the quiz. It's not going to be the exact picture, but it'll be something similar because you'll have a triangle with an exterior angle. I'll actually draw what the triangle looks like. Something like that. Do you see how I extended that side right there? That means I have an exterior angle. So this angle right here is going to equal this angle here plus this angle here. All right, it's the same situation, same type of situation. But instead of saying this angle is 30 degrees or this angle is 70 degrees, I'm going to say this angle is like x plus 3 degrees or x minus 17 degrees, that kind of thing. All right, so you're going to have to do a little bit of algebra. On 1 and 2, it's just a matter of adding things and subtracting some numbers. All right, on this one, you're going to have to do some algebra. So this is going to be in terms of x. All right, so it might be it might just be x. It might be x plus 10, might be x minus 20. This angle right here might be x plus 50 or something like that. But you still do the same process. Okay, these two angles right here, this one and this one, you're going to add them up. You're going to set them equal to this one right here. You're going to solve for x, but that's not the final answer. It's just solving for x. Then you're going to have to plug it back in and find the angle that I asked for. Right? We've done a lot of that kind of stuff before. Again, you do your research. Go watch the video. I don't know exactly what lesson it is. I'm sure it's probably 4.1, right? These are the first ones on the quiz, so it's probably 4.1. Go back, watch the lesson that dealt with an exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. So 4 problems just on that. Any questions? All right. You got to do your own legwork on this. You got to go out. Don't just rely on what I'm saying today. I'm not giving you quite enough today, but I'm pointing you in the correct direction, okay? And that's what I want to do today. All right, so that's 3 and 4. Let's see, 5, 6, and 7 are all the same type of problems. 5, 6, 7, there you go. Ha-ha, everybody, let me hear it. That was hilarious. All right, so right here, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things on each of these, okay? You got to do 2 things. First, the first thing that you have to do is write a congruence statement. Write a congruence statement. What in the world does that mean? Somebody give me an example of just some random arbitrary congruent statement. Let's get somebody else besides these guys. I appreciate your help, but we need to get everybody else involved. Somebody else help me out. Livia, help me out. Yeah. Give me an example of a congruent statement. Just you can pick any letters you want for triangles. Okay, but if it's a congruent statement, what's congruent to each other? Triangles are congruent to each other. Okay, so triangle ABC. All right, Isaac, help me out. What could that be congruent to? Just again, give me anything random. What is it? DEF. All right. So this is an example of a congruent statement. Oops, what's going on there? There we go. Okay? So that's one thing you got to write. And then what you have to do is you have to name the postulate that justifies that statement. Oh, my pen is dragging. Name the postulate. I should have said name the postulate or theorem. Oh, man, this pen is... For some reason, at the end of the day, this pen acts really weird. Maybe I should have unplugged it and started again or something. I don't know. Or theorem. Now, on the quiz, I didn't write theorem, but one of them could be a theorem. Let's talk about some examples of some theorems. EJ, give me an example of a postulate or a theorem that would tell me why these 2 triangles would be congruent to each other. Okay, that's one. Good. Side angle side. All right, Brielle. Angle side angle. All right, Jaden. Angle angle side. Is there any more? Somebody else have a chance. Selena, help me out. That's not really one of the postulates or theorems that says why triangles are congruent. Okay, side, side, side. Whoops. Is there? No. We made a big deal about it. Remember the other day? We made a big deal that there's no angle, angle, angle theorem because remember I took that one triangle and I made it smaller, but I kept it in the same proportion. All 3 angles were equal, but were the triangles congruent? No. So is there an angle, angle, angle? There is not. Now, with that said, not on this quiz, but on another thing that we're going to learn in another chapter, there is something that's called angle, angle, but it's not for congruence. Okay, it's for similarity. Remember me saying that word before? All right, but we're not doing that. so don't worry about it. Was there anything else? Which one? Yeah, on this one, we're not doing the hypotenuse. That wasn't on 4-5. I think that was later. Might have been 4-6. Okay, so we're not going to do that hypotenuse leg thing, all right, on this one. I think that's all of them, isn't it? Yeah. I think so, yeah. Now, you're not going to use all 4. You're going to pick one, all right? I'm going to give you a picture of 2 triangles. I'm going to mark some sides equal. I'm going to mark some angles equal. You look at it, they're going to be labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. Okay, they're not all, I got different letters, okay, for them. So what you have to do is look at those 2 triangles with the information that I give you, and you got to tell me which triangles are congruent. And then you have to give me a reason. You're going to pick one of these, not all of them, all right? You're just going to pick one of these and just write that down. And you got to get them both right to get number 5 right. You got to get them both right to get 6 right and to get number 7 right. Yes? No, you got to know them. I do not give those to you. It's a good question. Okay, these have to be in your head, in your brain, all right? And you got to choose from these, all right? And look at it and make sure you choose the right one. Hopefully you're not just guessing. Again, I've said this a bunch of times already today, but I'm going to say it again. I'm just pointing you in the direction. You go back, watch the video, research, look at your old homeworks or whatever, your notes, go to your notes. That's a great place to go if you took good notes. And figure out what I'm talking about here. You'll see it, all right? We did examples in class. It's probably in your notes. So there's 3 of those, all right? And then the last 3 all deal with the same picture. So 8, 9, and 10 are all dealing with the same picture. I'll give you the picture, and the picture actually looks like the picture on number 1. It's close to it. It's a little bit different, not much. All right, so let's go here. And let's go here. Okay? So it looks like that, but they put one more thing in there. They put this. Yep. And you should, okay? Because if you did the homeworks, then this should look familiar to you because all these problems are from the homeworks. Again, the numbers may slightly be different. I don't know. I can't remember. I made them up a couple years ago, these quizzes, all right? So I can't remember if I changed them, kept the numbers the same or what. But your best bet is to go back to the homeworks and find a problem that looks like this and do it. See if you get it right, okay? And I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about it. And so one of these questions, number 9, says that this is perpendicular to this. And I put letters in here, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, okay? If this is perpendicular to this, what does that mean? That means that this is a what? A 90-degree angle. That's right. So if number 9 specifically says that this length, whatever letters it is, and this one right here are perpendicular. I put that little symbol there. You know what that symbol means, right? Yeah. It means perpendicular. That means that's a 90-degree angle. I also use the word bisect. This threw some of you guys off. If I could, my pen would write. This threw you off a little bit. What does it mean to bisect something? Like if this one up and down, if it bisected from here to here, what does it do, Jaden? Cuts it in half. It cuts it into 2 equal parts. So that means that this little part right there must equal what? That little part right there. Okay, so that word bisect means it splits it into 2 equal parts. You could say it splits it in half, but it's a lot better to think of it as it splits it into 2 equal parts. Okay? Yeah. And then I'm going to give you some information about it. I'm going to give you some numbers. I'm going to say this angle is equal to something. This angle is equal to something. And again, this is an exterior angle. So guess what theorem we're going to use again? What theorem? The exterior angle equals the sum of the remote interior angles, okay? So we're using that quite a bit. If you don't know that theorem, you're going to be lost on this quiz. Okay, about more than half the quiz is that remote interior angle thing. So make sure you understand that. Make sure you know what I'm talking about. What does that mean? That means, like, what if this was, I don't know, make up a number. What do you think that looks like? 70? right? 90 would be here. It's pretty steep, right? Call it 70. Let's call this, I don't know, 20. Let's not even call it 20. Let's call it something else. Let's call it 30. So what would this angle right here be? It's 100. Exactly. It's as easy as that. What if, again, I don't even know, I'm not even looking at the quiz on this. I'm just making stuff up. What if this was 120? Then this would be, it'd be 120 minus 70, which is 50. So that would be 50. What if I asked for that whole big angle? What would that be? That'd be 100. Now, it doesn't look like 100. I'm just making numbers up, okay? But the math works that way. Everybody got that? Okay. What would this little angle right here be? Now, again, this is not drawn accurately, okay? It's not drawn accurately. I'm just making stuff up. This is what happens when I just start throwing numbers in there, okay? This would be 60 because it's right next to the 120. Because it makes a straight line. Again, I didn't draw this accurately, okay? Now, what if I said that this side is equal to this side, and I did not tell you this angle? Forget the 50 up here. What if I said these two sides are equal? What does it mean about these two angles right here? So what would this be? That would be 70. What would this be? 110. You see that? Now that works a little bit better, doesn't it? Okay. So what would this big angle up here be now? This is 70, and that's 70, so that makes 140, right? So what would this big angle right here be? I heard it. Why would it be 40? Because they add up to 180. Good. That whole thing would be 40. What's this little tiny angle then right here? This would be 20. Okay? Now the numbers make sense. And now they kind of look like they should. Make sense? All right. So if you know all that stuff, you should be able to do 8, 9, and 10. All right? What if I said this whole thing from there to there was 10 inches? What would it be from here to here? If it bisects it, if that thing bisects this part right here, this would be 5, right? Because it splits it into 2 equal parts. We getting this? All right. That's all there is to it. Now, the numbers, I'm looking at it, the numbers are different. They're not the same exact numbers as here, but it's the same idea. All comes together, doesn't it? Yeah, but you got to go through it again, all right? Make sure you go through it. Watch the video. You don't have to watch the whole entire video, but just skim to the part where I do something that looks like this. I'm almost positive you could find it on there, all right? And then once you see it, that should help you out a bit, all right? Look at the problem in the book. Find this one. Okay, find the one that looks like this in the book. It's probably 4.5. It's probably section 4.5 would be my guess. Okay, find the one that looks like it, and hopefully it's odd. I don't know if it's odd or not, but when I read off the homework problems, don't I always tell you what the even numbers are, the answers are? Yeah, for the most part, for the vast majority of the time I do that. So hopefully you wrote down the correct answer. All right, you can always go back and look at it. That's why it's nice to have your homeworks. Okay? Everybody good? That's your quiz. And it's tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll take the quiz, and then after that we will, I'll let you do that part B to 4.7, and that'll be tomorrow. Everybody good? All right. That's it.